Welcome to the rebrand. I'm a drag queen now. Hope you like it. Bye.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I thought today we could do something fun. I'm tipsy, I'm feeling creative, I just want to do something and have fun, you know what I mean? So I thought, well, one thing I have never done, surprisingly, is do my art style on my face. My drag makeup it takes a lot from things I have done with my art style before, but also, you know, just drag related things in general. But I've thought, like, you know, I've never just like drawn on my face. You know what I mean? So I thought maybe we could just do that. Like, let's just do that. Let's like do it for fun. And who knows, maybe I will discover a new drag persona within me that I did not know I had. Now, I'll put some photos up of like what my art style is kind of like. It's very Toxxxica coded, but it's not Toxxxica, if that makes sense. She's dead. The iPad is dead. So we're gonna have to go off of the photos back there. Okay? If you couldn't have guessed already, Toxxxica loves something scary. This is a piece I made called Norman. I made this in high school actually. And this is kind of like a portrait of him, and he's very he's just a guy. I mean, look at all of the different things on his face. I really like experimenting with lots of black lines, and huge lips, huge lips, huge mouth, small mouth, small teeth. You're fucking small pot destroyer. I think I made this when I was a sophomore in high school, and this is something that's very recurring in my, you know, like my art styles. I love to do this with the eyes. So I'll put black on the side and keep the middles. So it gives that kind of dimension. This is his wife, Norma. Isn't she fabulous? Again, I made these in the same year. I think literally the same couple days. These are done with Posca pens and acrylic paint. And Sharpie, I think, or, you know, very not middle school, very high school, didn't have a lot of like great art supplies, but this is just, like I said, I love experimenting with these black lines, huge mouth. I mean, the mouth takes up like 65% of her face. And I don't know if I said, but this is Norma. I think I'm just going to stick with a white face today and kind of go off from there. But yeah, this is very much my kind of art style, and I think we're gonna give something like this today. Okay, my iPad has decided to turn on, thank God. Thank goodness! Well, I look kind of scary there, like that. Girl, that is strong. What did I make? This is a gorgeous pink woman smoking a ciggy. She's got these gorgeous eye glasses on. And I don't know if you can see, but always that same thing with the eyelid on either side. So I really like to do that. And this is her Portal's character. This is one of my favorite pieces. I really like it. And I think she's, I don't know, I'm really proud of this one. I did this for the black and white challenge. I just did it for fun. Tell me why I made fucking Susie 2. I made this in 2022. This is before I even knew about her. Why is this literally Susie 2? I just want to have fun. Like, I was already saying that, but I just want to have fun. Like, have fun and do makeup. That it doesn't always have to be drag. Like, just have fun. And did I also mention have fun? You know, just have fun. Okay. My sister Georgia. You know Georgia. And if you don't know who Georgia is, you better be watching the Beauty and the Beast podcast. Okay? I'm going to glue down my brows. I don't really want to, but I want to do that thing that I do in my art where I kind of do it in my drag, but it's even more starker. It's like that. So I'm going to try and do that. I'm not the type to really line my work unless, you know, a lot of the time I'll use my sketch as the finished like lining of whatever I do. It's something I kind of had to, I don't know. When I was in high school, I had a lot of art friends. Shout out to y'all. And I mean, I had all kinds of art friends. I had, you know, the friends that would draw very pristine and like, you know, lining everything to a T, and like, you know, I had those. I had friends that would draw like animated characters, you know. For the longest time, I really wanted to become an artist. Like, even when I was younger, I wanted to draw so bad, but just like everything that I had thought of, I could think of it so perfectly of like what I wanted it to look like. And then I just couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't do it no matter. And I'm not saying that now I have that skill. No. I think that sort of conformity of art in my head really kind of held me back from being able to just kind of like have fun. Especially when you're in high school, and you're not even high school, in middle school, and you're like learning about the fundamentals of art and like proportions and like how to, you know, proportions piss me the fuck off. And don't get me wrong, I know that there is a reason for them. Of course, a reason for proportions if you are some sort of realism artist and you want to make sure that, you know, I mean, and there's always proportions needed in any sort of art. Don't get me wrong. And it's very important to learn the basics of them. But I think when I was kind of trying to figure out, like, what do I want to do with art? Like, how can I love the art that I'm making? Because for the longest time, girl, no talent in that department whatsoever. I mean, y'all know in high school, you sit on your desk.
Oh my god, what are you drawing?
Oh, sorry. I'm just drawing an eye. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm pretty good at eyes. Yeah. Like, why is that all we drew in high school or in middle school? I'm drawing an eye. God. I remember this one time I drew all my friends in my art style, and they were all like, it's great. And it was not because it looked bad. I didn't think it looked bad. Hopefully it's not because it looked bad. But it's just because my fucking art style was like, it's scary, it's weird, it's freaky. It wasn't like theirs. And it's just scary. I'm weird like that. My cat was just sitting right here. Just right here. And just surveying the scene. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna finish these eyebrows and not waste time. Eyebrows are glued down, and I think it's time to do a white face. I want to do a white face. Yes, I do. I got this white cream stick from MAC. First, I'm going to prime my face, though, to make sure everything really sticks. Not that I'm really going to go out in this, but just, you know, just to try it. You know, we're having fun. We're having fun in makeup, and that's okay. We can do that, you know? I'm using this NYX The Face Glue. To me, I can never tell if primer is actually doing anything, but I just feel like I cross one of the boxes off when I put it on. You know what I mean? We're going to go ahead and try this white face powder. I haven't used this white face paint as foundation. I've used it for like my under eye, so let's see. I don't really know how, I don't think this blends out like a foundation at all, so we're just going to try it. We're just going to see if this is the tea. Oh, I just rhymed. Hello, Dr. Seuss. Alrighty, it's a little patchy. I feel like I'm using so much. Have y'all seen Wicked for Good? I like it better than the first movie. Dare I say. I think it was better. It was so good. Let him never die. Let him never die. What is this chanting? I don't even know what I'm reading. I don't even know what trick I ought to try. This whole episode is just me singing Wicked. I'm really channeling Juno Birch here because I think she said in her Vogue interview this is how she came up with her drag character. Just like, she basically was drawing this blue alien woman, and then she put it on her face, and that's how she got her drag character. I would give this like a 6 out of 10. It's been a while since I've done a normal video. I have really been wanting to. I just haven't felt the motivation. You know, drag has been taking up a lot of my life. And I'm very fortunate for it. I love drag, but it does take a lot. That's my creed. And I already know I'm going to go through all of this white powder, so that's exciting. Okay. I mean, I guess it's white. Let's just keep going. I'm imagining my face as just like a blank canvas. Usually where I start is with my eyes. So let's do that. And I think literally for this, I'm just going to use my eyeliner. I got this big freaking mirror. Hello. I got this big mirror from Sally's for free because I had rewards. And I'm just now realizing it's warped. I'm just going to go for it. You know, this is how I usually do whenever I'm doing art. I just go for the eye is always the thing I do first. So I'm just going to, I mean, the thing is I already have my eye sketched. I mean, I already have an eye. So, and what I like to do is I like to do like this. I like to add that like thing like that. And then I'll kind of like line, and then I will make, and then since, you know, I already have an eyelid, but I always highlight it like that. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll just kind of put these lines. I'll put these lines like this. Perf. I do the same thing on the lower. So I'm going to bring this under my eye like that. And then I do the same kind of like thing where I like. And then for my eyebrow, it's literally this. Like that. Huge. And then I connect it like that. Fill that in. Usually when I do brows for characters. I mean, me and him are kind of twinning right now. A little bit. Yeah. Yes. Oh, this is me. I'm going to do that on the other side and I'll be right back. Okay, well, there's the eyes. And then this is usually where I'll do my nose. Or, not mine, but whenever I do characters, this is where I'll do the nose. And then I go from the sides up into the brow. I take a lot of inspiration from my art, unknowingly, actually. Like, literally, I didn't even know this. Obviously, this is very different than my drag. The way I go up to the eyebrows, oh, I'm starting to look so much like a character. What if I canceled everything and this is how I was in drag from now on? I'm going to add some shadows and stuff to just kind of really blacken everything up. I just like to really add like all of kind of like the unconventional details, like wrinkles, and, you know, make myself, or not myself, I keep referring to myself, but I don't really ever draw myself, but just kind of make those details obvious. Like right here, this is usually where I'll add like wrinkle lines on top. You know, so much of art is like trying to like get rid of those imperfect things. I'll even do like, you know, when you're bald and you have this like thing here. But there's so much of art that's just like, oh, it's got to be perfect and they got to look normal and you don't want to have all these things. And I don't like that. I like the imperfect. I'm adding my wrinkles in. They are just giving lines on my head and I don't love that. See, this is the part where I wish I had Procreate and I could just, you know, redo it. Just double tap and undo it. Okay, but that's okay. So now After I usually do the nose, I will do the mouth. Okay, so we're gonna go back in with this. And I don't know if you can tell by Mr. Man back there, but I love a huge mouth, like fucking huge. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start all the way down here. Like that. Sometimes I've even done like all the way up to my face, but I don't know if we're gonna do that today. And then I really make the Cupid's bow obvious. Yep. And then I always kind of like add like a little, little dimples. And then this is usually how I'll do it. And then I add jagged lines over the top because your top lip is usually darker than your bottom lip. Okay, and then this is the part I love to do. I love to draw the smile line. So I'll start like right next to the nose. Like that. Oh, this is giving me my fucking. This is what I draw like. And then that's pretty much it. I'm gonna put in white contacts and then we'll see if we want to add anything else. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the contacts. I'm living. Oh, I forgot something. This is also usually what I'll do. I was like, there's something wrong about this nose. This is not how I draw noses. This is how I draw noses. I think this is pretty good. I mean, this is totally my art style. This is how I draw. And I'm going to draw it up in Procreate and we'll see. Alright, girl. Well, this is what it looks like when I decide to put my my art style on my face. I kind of live. Wait, let me do the face that he's kind of doing. That's me and my girl. I mean, that's me and my girl. Hope you enjoy. Hope this was fun. And I'm never not going to be scary, so watch out, I guess. Bye.